In Dragon Quest, there is a family of monsters known as the Nature Family, which includes a grouping of various natural element monsters, fruits, vegetables, birds, squids, and more. And so I've decided to attempt to beat the game once more, only using these monsters. The last family to have decent early game variety. The rules were as follow. Nature monsters only, no duplicate monsters, only food items allowed into battle, no training dungeon, DLC chest, or online shop, and I unlock one new monster rank every 2.5 chapters to 5-7, etc. And one synthesis for each party members per rank unlock. At the beginning of the run, I started with another rule to defeat the bosses using only the monster's AI, but it quickly got old and unfun, so I later made a rule change to remove it. As usual, I write my script as I go along with these runs. Starting the run, I pick Rule Cumber and call it Nightmares, hinting at its final form. After killing a slime to unlock the entire area, yes, for those of you who don't know, killing monsters open the entire area and pauses time in spring, giving you ample time to get the monster you are looking for. I went and, after many attempts, got myself a killer pillar. I named Not Mercury. You'll get why by the end. Then during autumn, I scout a capsicum I named Carnivorous, and a Batomoid I named Mini. And finally in winter, I scout Kraken, my calamari kid. Now, saying that name made me hungry for seafood. At level 7 I am ready to attempt the Colosseum. Here are the party stats. G-Rank went without any issues. Frank, on the other hand, went not as well as you will see. Changing Carnivorous for Nightmares, I made 3 more attempts where I feel like my luck went worse and worse every try. Returning to levels later, at level 9 I met with much better results. This is a very bad start for the Nature family. Arriving in Makai, I don't waste any time and head straight for the Molosseum, given no monsters outside were anything I was looking for. The G rank was easy, showing me this might have been an issue related to some weaknesses the party had previously. Now, with 2 chapters over, I unlocked F-rank monsters and 1 synthesis each, but I'm going to wait as I have one last party member to scout before I do. This final party member was a toadie named Ribbit. Finally, I start synthesis with nightmares, because I swear to the lords of the underworld that thing is giving me nightmares already. Next, I make Minnie so fat she can no longer fly. Don't worry, we'll get you running very soon. Then I feed Kraken some of its own kind to fatten it up a bit. Catching back up to level, here are my stats. And now, for Celebrity, I've set up my team so Minnie and not Mercury focus on attack, while Nightmares acts as his namesake and weakens the enemy, and Kraken heals. It took longer than it would have if I had given the orders, but it was still an easy victory. Having recovered from his broken heart from my last run, Rev is back to kidnapping men for his 6th dungeon. So we use the same tactics as Celebrity, though this time I lost not Mercury and had to switch to Ribbit in DPS mode. Next are the Molosseum's fight. F-rank went well. But E-rank, I think you already guessed, went not so well because one of the enemy using Sleep Twitch dealing massive damage to my party. I I returned right away, this time with Nightmare in No Mercy mode instead, so he would not sleep that stupid bomb, and it went much better. Because I needed to scout monsters from the Circle of Fortitude, I went directly to Percival with my previous tactic of Nightmare's debuff, Kraken heals, the others on DPS. But Percival decided to mute everyone, so they all ended up ganging up on him and beating him up while he was down. With this, we now have 5 chapters beaten, meaning 1 more synthesis and he rank unlock. First, I fatten up Nightmare so he stops flying. Then Nutmere becomes a flying scorpion. Then I have Kraken Muggenork for its equipment. Finally, I have Minnie run a few paces until she can fly once more. After getting my party back to a decent level, here are their stats. Using the same tactic as before, I went and fought the Crystal Golem. This fight lasted way too long for how easy that boss is supposed to be. And finally are the three hounds. The fight were fast and easy. The only time I was in any danger was when the pink one used a critical spell. Here are all three fights due to how short they were. With this, I now have 7 chapters done, giving me one more synthesis and unlocking D rank monsters. First, I turn nightmares into a chimera. Then I recolor Minnie's feathers. Finally, I make carnivorous into its namesake. Look, I know it is kind of cheesy, but there are absolutely no way to go to the monsters I want while remaining in the nature family. So instead I will do it this way and subtract 2 points. Having cocked that up, here are my party stats. For the Diabolic Hall, I treated the welcoming committee like any boss, even though they technically are not, but the fight remained very easy. Then was General Chain. I decided to attempt the fight in no mercy mode, losing me 2 party members. was ready to insult Darius once more, only for the purple fruit bat. Yes, Darius is based off the flying fox, a species of fruit-eating bats, to genuinely give me issues. I guess playing living fruits against a fruit eater actually leads to a harder fight. So, I do not have any records of these two bosses, but as you can see, I did defeat Ash and Petrarch. Turns out I had the wrong settings on in OBS and I only recorded the audio. To summarize the fights, my monsters got on my nerve during the Ash fight by not dealing their status elements, causing me a loss. But I succeeded on attempt 2 where I focused only on damage, but I decided I was done using the AI from that point on. Petrarch was the same as usual. He defeated 2 party member with Thwack, but then you learn he was also weak to getting his ass kicked and died like a bitch. With this, I now have 10 chapters beaten, meaning I unlock C-rank monsters and 1 more synthesis. First, I throw Ribbit in the monster equivalent of a drying machine until he turns red. Then, Nutmurgery is shoved into a machine, coming out armored up. Then I grow Kraken into his namesake. Then finally I grew Minnie into a not so small birdie. Before getting back to level, I decided to attempt the 3 Stooges so they would give me a challenge, but it seems even being under level is not enough to make them difficult. Having caught up to level a few fights later, here are my party stats. The King Custodian was an easy boss now that I am in control of my party. Our ads were instantly destroyed and she only lasted a few more turns. And finally is Clodio. The moment he lost his guards, his damage output was so low he was already cooked. And now the dragon-phobic genocidal little twink is up, and it seems he practiced being a brat again after getting his ass handed to him by two cats. Because he utterly destroyed my front row, but he was still a first try. With the twink 6 foot under her, I now have 12 chapters beaten, meaning I unlocked B rank monsters and one more synthesis. First I make Ribbit into a froggy magician, and finally it is time for the monster that made me use the run button the most in the original Dragon Quest, Cosmic Chimera. Here are my party stats after I caught up 2 levels. White World is next. Bitch took me 3 attempts because of both his Starfall and Blessed Breath attack, both dealing similar AoE damage to my party, completely annihilating my party before I could set up any defense or even heal. Fuck that guy in particular. With how poorly this run has been going, I was half expecting to get soft luck against the Succubat and have to declare defeat. But I'm glad to see the incompetent nincompoops can at least do one thing right. Before I entered any dungeon, I hunted down a King Metal Slime because damn, this party needs the experience. On my first try against Barbados, his ads would keep using crowd control on my party, causing me to be unable to move for most of the fight. But on the second attempt, I was able to prevent the paralysis and beat his ass with only a single loss. The Lizard Brothers were at turn 1 as usual wastes of air. For the chicken, even though I have the literal same monster in my team, he nearly kicked my ass, leaving Ribbit and Carnivores as only survivors. I almost feel like nature monsters suck. Whether they're good or not, they are now due for synthesis, as I now have 13 chapters beaten, meaning A rank unlock. First is Minnie becoming a phoenix. Maybe now she'll stop sucking. Then we release the true Kraken. Even when covering yourself in Metal Slime's metal, you are not Mercury. No access to this form from a nature monsters, yada yada. Minus 2 points for Carnivorous. After catching up to my party's level, here are my stats. So So, Maximus is next, and he finally proved to be a hard hitter, leaving Mini and Kraken below half-life. For Pruslas, I turned around and fought him without giving him the advantage, given how much damage I took on the previous boss. The heads were no problem. They were deleted in seconds, but Pruslas himself was annoying with his MP drain, losing me Kraken. Starkisma is next and once again proved to be a pushover. Even though I did lose Mini, she was an expected loss due to dealing with a rather high level monster. This idiot even used breath reflection after my main breath user was down. this map down, I now have unlocked S-rank monsters, the final monsters for this run. And for the final synthesis, I turned carnivorous into a grape flower, because we all know grape flowers are better than red flowers. Why? Because grape flowers have yet to be covered in my enemy's blood. Next is the Dark Priest, Ammon, and finally, after all this time, it is an easy fight. Thanks to Nightmare who acted like a tank, taking all the blows for the party, only to reflect them all onto this idiot. It would seem this party sucks so much, even the 4 doofus are going to need their own individual mentions. Great! First is Saberfang. I only suffered a single loss, that of my thing, but he still proved annoying with his breath reflection and sleep twitching. Beef Drake was easy, annoying with his screaming, but otherwise easy as long as you reflect his breath attacks. slime who I forgot the name of was another easy fight. I simply spammed AoE attacks until he died, losing only a single party member. Venesia was by far the easiest of the bunch. It seems the only difficulty was me selecting the wrong party members at the wrong time. Was not too hard. At no point did he force me to use a healer, though he did defeat half my party. Before going for the final fight, I gave Mini Blowhard and Mystic. Here are my stats before the final fight. Phase 1 went horribly bad. I lost my entire party but 2 party members, Mini and Kraken. Tried using the full revive dance, but Nightmares always gets killed whenever I tried. second phase was a second try. That goes without saying with only 2 party members left on attempt 1. And it was nearly an attempt 3 because my party was low SL when I won. I discovered that right as Randy. Random full party heal was actually good on the dedicated mage, saving my ass quite literally near the end. With this run over, it is time to give my opinion. This was by far the most infuriating run I made of this game. Nature monsters suck. With a capital S. They are the worst thing I've ever played in any game. They hit like a wet noodle, have the resistance of paper mache, and are outspaced by paraplegic tortoise. And this was supposed to be the last easy run. I hope the others will at least have good stats. With this, I'm going to take a vacation in the depths of hell, see Kokairo's lake for some fresh air, because fuck do I need it!